I just read. Love God, love your neighbor, love yourself. Jesus said, from these two commandments, all other objectives can be made. All lesson plans can be formulated from these words. And I believe that Tom understood that. So we have stories from the family of Tom as a young man, young boy, learning to reach out to others, learning to respect his parents and himself, and helping people. I especially remember a visit by our family when we came down from Minnesota, when he was about 12 years old. He sat on the porch swing and visited and asked questions and teased my daughters and enjoyed life. My sister Judy in Colorado related that fishing and skiing in Colorado with Tom was always fun. Fun for him and fun for everyone else. If you've been watching TV these past weeks or catch the news on your iPhone, you know Nelson Mandela, the great statesman of South Africa, died. While I was preparing for today, I came across one of Mandela's quotes in the newspaper. He had said it at his friend Walter Sisulu's 90th birthday in 2002. And I quote, "What counts in life is not the mere fact we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead." Now, to see where Tom was grounded came from, we have to go back to the early book of Genesis. There we find that all humans are created in God's image. So love of neighbor is love of God, because it is love of the image of God in all people. Matthew states, if you have seen your brother or sister, you have seen God. Our East Indian friends have a wonderful greeting. It's called Namaste. Maybe you've seen it. The divine within me greets the divine within you. Or our Quaker friends meditate each Sunday morning on the divine spark within themselves. Now, Tom would be the first to say, don't make me to be perfect. Don't put a halo on my head. And we would probably have agreed. However, I do believe at the base of Tom's existence, he had made personal the golden rule, a golden rule that is found in all religions. Do to others as you would have them do to you. But Tom's life as an adult in Chicago was when he really taught us how to live. And the stories from friends and families, most of you here today, could relate stories of Tom loving others even while he loved and respected himself. Sneaking a kitten into the hospital after Kathy, his sister, had had her surgery. Wanting everyone to have fun, and what better way to do it than to plan fun events. Seeing the best in people. Promoting new musicians. Living with great joy and enthusiasm. Being a loving husband and father. Visiting his parents, encouraging his nieces and nephews. Overlooking differences in opinions and focusing on the positive, loving life and the world. Kay related a saying on her desk, that's his sister, her desk calendar the day Tom died. A laugh is just like music. It lingers in the heart. and Tom's laugh is lingering in our hearts. There's been a book on the New York Times bestseller list for months. It's called Proof of Heaven. It's by Dr. Eben Alexander, who had a near-death experience. Now, thousands have had these experiences, and I've known the people who have had them. But most scientists believe that they're impossible. Dr. Alexander was one of those people, and he felt that people felt near-death experiences were real, but that they were really fantasies produced by the brain under extreme stress. And then his own brain was attacked by a rare illness. His thoughts and his emotions, what makes us human, were shut down completely. For 7 days he lay in a coma, and just when the doctors were going to stop treatment, his eyes popped open. He was back. And while in the coma, his spirit had journeyed to the divine source of the universe itself. Now you understand that he was a neuroscientist. And before he went on his journey, he could not reconcile his knowledge of neuroscience with any belief in heaven, God, or the soul. Today he's a doctor who believes that true health can be achieved only when we realize that God and the soul are real, and that death is not the end of personal existence, but only a transition, something that was said at Nelson Mandela's funeral recently. And what was the divine source of the universe that he discovered? Love. You are loved. And I quote, "Love is without a doubt the basis of everything. In its purest and most powerful form, it is unconditional. In the church we call that agape love. This love is the reality of realities that exists in all that ever will exist. And no remotely accurate understanding of who or what we are can be achieved by anyone who does not know it and embody it in all of their actions." He discovered that none of us are ever unloved. Each and every one of us is deeply known and cared for by a Creator who cherishes us beyond our ability to understand. And I believe Tom got that. And I believe that because Tom got that message, he taught us how to love and how to live. And finally, he taught us how to die. I don't know about you, but the context I had with Tom after he was diagnosed with cancer was he didn't want to talk about it. For me, he wanted to show me all of he and Colleen's pictures on his iPhone of their trip to Italy. I think there must have been at least 500 of them. And not only did he want to show me, but he wanted to know that I would have loved to have gone to Pompeii or Venice. And when my daughter Tamara came to visit, he wanted to talk about how to get Purdue University involved in the Farm to Table Festival that he and Colleen organized every year in southern Michigan. And when Jay, his brother-in-law, and I were there, he was encouraging him to have Jason, his nephew, see his new job as a great opportunity. When his friend Matt Suhr died, he flew to Arizona to see that the event Matt had planned would happen. Colleen told me that her Mr. Sunshine was organizing, planning, and encouraging people almost until the day he died. Tom wanted to live his life as fully as possible, even while cancer